We're ready for week number 10 in the National Football League. And Will, the slate of games, unbelievable. I love this game on CBS coming up on Sunday. Arizona Cardinals favored by 2.5 points at home. Taking on the Buffalo Bills. Will Brinson, take your pick.
Yeah, two great young quarterbacks coming up in this game, Adam, with Josh Allen and Kyler Murray squaring off. We saw Kyler and Tua go toe-to-toe last week. One of the things I think you need to look at here is the Bills and Seahawks game, not just in terms of how we can get a ton of points, and I think there will be a lot of scoring in this game, but also how the Cardinals approach Josh Allen defensively. If you sit back in the soft zone and play Josh Allen and force him to be patient and minimize his deep balls, he's going to struggle. If you blitz and attack like the Cardinals like to do, he's going to carve you up. John Brown revenge game on deck. I got the Bills winning this one outright.
Oh, love the John Brown revenge game. Hey, hey. You know I'm taking the Bills. Truth be told, I love both these teams, both these coaches, both these cultures, both these quarterbacks. How about the two-star receivers that were big-name acquisitions in the offseason with Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins? You know what? The Bills' defense, I think, can make more plays. I think Josh Allen is going to have another sensational game. Give me the Buffalo Bills to win outright. How about this one on CBS, Will Brinson? Can't wait for it. Pick number 5, pick number 6 in the draft. Two great young quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins favored by 1.5, taking on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
This is an emotional game for me. One, because Miami Dolphins fans have taken to Twitter to come after me. These guys are in the streets acting like they're the 72 Dolphins all of a sudden because they won 5 games and the Patriots aren't scary anymore. Settle down, Dolphin fans. Act like you've been there. Or wait, you haven't been there. Act like you know what you're doing then, at least. I'm taking the Chargers, though. 1, because Justin Herbert's playing out of his mind. And 2, because earlier today, I did an interview with Dan Feeney, Chargers offensive lineman, about his mullet and mustache. You don't bet against the mullet and the mustache and a true American hero like Dan Feeney. Give me the Chargers.
I mean, I wish I was armed with the information about the mullet and the mustache before making the pick, but listen, I'm going to roll with the Miami Dolphins here, and here's the deal. I think Herbert's a better quarterback, but I think Tua's going to win more games. I think Tua's got a better head coach, and they've got a better defense in Miami, and listen, Will, I think they're going to win 10 games this year, 5 already. Look at the schedule. It's favorable. They need to bank this one. Tua absolutely has it. Herbert and Allen will get their big numbers, but at the end of the day, I trust the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take them to win and cover. How about this ball game on Monday Night Football? Let Dalvin cook. It's the Minnesota Vikings. They are on the road in Chicago with Minnesota, Will Brinson, favored by 2.5.
I need one of those Dalvin Cook chef toboggans like I need oxygen to breathe. Where do I find one of those? The problem here, though, is, and as much as I like to see the Bears lose, and I love seeing the Bears lose because their fans come at me constantly, I will take the Bears in the spot, mainly because I think when you see what Minnesota wants to do on offense, they want to run the football. They will be stubborn about it, and it won't work against Chicago's defense. Additionally, Kirk Cousins, primetime, Kirk Cousins against the Bears. Kirk Cousins has managed 55 points since he got to Minnesota against Chicago. He doesn't play against them well, and he stinks on primetime. Give me Chicago getting the points in this one.
You know, normally I would agree with you, but in this case I won't. I'm going to take Minnesota to win the ball game. I think Minnesota's going to cover. I'm not even convinced it's going to be that close. I mean, you're right about Kirk Cousins in primetime. Nick Foles, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. This guy is atrocious. Dalvin Cook is averaging on the season 123 rushing yards per game. The Bears are averaging 82. Had Dalvin Cook to my SiriusXM radio show. He respects that Bears front seven, but he is just in sync with his offensive line. Let Dalvin Cook. I love Lizzo and the Minnesota Vikings. All right, let's take a look at the rest of our picks for week number 10. Brinson and I sharing a brain on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cleveland Browns. I'm going with the rebuilding since 1957. Detroit Lions against the Washington football team. We both think the Packers cover. The Eagles take care of business. I thought that Raider-Bronco game was the toughest one of the week to pick with the points, so goes noted. Will and I disagree. Told you why I love the Rams earlier in the show. We both have the Saints covering. We're both rolling with the Bengals and with the Baltimore Ravens. Will, as always, best of luck this week. We'll be watching you on CBS Sports HQ. But wait, there's more. Russ is going to have some trouble cooking this weekend in Sean McVay and Aaron Donald's kitchen. I love this game. It is loaded with playoff implications. The West is wild and dominant when you look at the landscape in the NFC. The LA Rams, to me, are just a really rock-solid football team. They are good in every single phase. And make no mistake, playing at home, the Rams should beat the Seattle Seahawks. Sean McVay needs this win. And listen, Russell Wilson, Russ is an absolute magician. Russ is amazing. DK Metcalf is amazing. Tyler Lockett is amazing. But I think that this defense can absolutely make some plays. And Russ doesn't have any help in terms of balance, doesn't have any help in terms of run game, any help in terms of his own defense. And listen, this defense for the LA Rams is beyond legit. It's one of the best in the business. And honestly, they should just change the Defensive Player of the Year award and call it the Aaron Donald Award. Because Aaron Donald is a different kind of cat. He's unstoppable, he's unblockable, and I think he, not Russ, will be the best player on the field coming up in Los Angeles on Sunday. Jalen Ramsey has had a terrific season. The DBs have been great, and sometimes numbers lie. Not these numbers. I mean, it's crazy to think how amazing this Rams defense has played this year, and yet they're only 5-3. It's a big game for Sean McVay. This is a game at home in the division, a team in Seattle that is flawed. Seattle's defense is atrocious, like historically atrocious. McVay, offensive guru, let's go, take advantage. Big game for Jared Goff. Listen, everybody looks amazing when you take on this historically inept Seattle defense. No excuse for Goff, his offensive line, which has been solid. The running backs, Henderson, play action that McVay likes to call. Jared Goff should have the game of his life. Everybody does, going up against his pass defense for Seattle. I'm telling you right now, I absolutely love the LA Rams. I really expect Tom Brady to sizzle this weekend and bounce back brilliantly against Carolina. And look, a couple of key words in that aforementioned sentence are Carolina. You know, when you're taking on the Carolina Panthers, that's a much easier task than what we saw going up against New Orleans. But listen, the New Orleans Saints destroyed Tom Brady. It's the worst game Brady's ever played in his entire career. He was terrible. He was dreadful. And he didn't have any help. I mean, with Bruce Arians, Byron Leftwich, the offensive line, Gronk was dreadful. And how about Bruce Arians just absolutely throwing Tom Brady under the bus? Now, look, Brady has had a terrific year except for the New Orleans games. So it's important here to get right. There's no excuse. And, you know, BA wanted to throw Brady under the bus and keep this conversation going in the news cycle. Hey, Bruce, have your team ready to go. Have your team ready to go and make sure that Antonio Brown is ready to go. I think it's low-hanging fruit and inaccurate if you blame Antonio Brown for the struggles last week for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, they were wretched, down 31-0 at the half. AB's first game, so, oh, well, Antonio Brown ruined the chemistry. I don't buy that. Now, I do think Tom Brady, to Bruce Arians' point, which was a great one, but he just needs to keep it quiet, keep it in-house. AB is not the featured wide receiver. It's still Mike Evans. And you can throw all day long against the Carolina Panthers. They don't have a pass rush in any way, shape, or form. I don't think that they're going to be able to stay on the field on offense. No Christian McCaffrey in this one. Tampa's defense was wretched, absolutely terrible against New Orleans. Listen, I like Teddy, like his receivers, but they're going to be one-dimensional. Mike Davis had a really good year when he's run the football as opposed to Christian McCaffrey, but this needs to be a get-right game for the defense, and make no mistake, all eyes are on Tom Brady. He better. The Titans special teams, anything but special, as the Indianapolis Colts marched into Tennessee and destroyed the Titans. Tennessee was actually up in the third quarter, but the failures on special teams, the follies, too much to overcome. Killers! This was absolutely, positively ludicrous. What's on your screen is perfect. After a goal line stand, Tennessee shanked the punt. After a touchdown, a block punt, return for a touchdown. Okay, still a situation where Gostkowski hits a field goal, make it a one-score game, or no. Ball game over, Tennessee loses, and as Joe Buck once said, to the track, to the wall, we are tied. When you look at the AFC South standings, listen, this is huge. Huge in terms of the standings, huge in terms of the division, huge in terms of the field for both these teams. And I picked Tennessee, and I was wrong. But look, you know I picked the Colts to win the division at the beginning of the season, picked them to beat Baltimore. Colts are legit. This defense is no joke. We said it in the preseason. We said it to Evan Washburn during the Where's Washburn training camp tour. And we told Evan this was going to be one of the best defenses in the NFL. Run defense is great. They're fundamentally sound. The DBs have really stepped up. Xavier Rhodes, he has been terrific. Ryan Tannehill was battered and bloodied last night. And you got to remember, 24 hours ago, Indianapolis was in the hunt. Now they're a division leader. And if you check the schedules, Indy has a better schedule in the second half of the season, compare and contrast to the Tennessee Titans. I think Indy's absolutely going to win the division. And they've got a new running back in Indianapolis. And I was dead wrong on Jonathan Taylor, who I loved in the draft, and picked him for Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's got to be Hines. He's the best running back on the team. And it's amazing the sizzle he adds. Plus a healthy Michael Pittman. You think that Green Bay should have drafted him? I forget it. And now you have T.Y. Hilton healthy, and Phillip Rivers has dudes. And this team is now complete. Trust me when I tell you, no one's going to want to face the Indianapolis Colts in January. And I firmly believe that with their defense, they are winning the AFC South.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.